Alright, so this is round 4 of 7 from the PTQ finals. 1 and 2 at this point. Lost to black-green, beat red-black, lost to white-black humans. And we're going into round 4 here. So I'm not feeling good about the tournament at this point, but I definitely believe in the deck, and I was testing all week, so I wanted to stay in. Okay, so we were on the play this game. This hand is great. Lead with representing bombardment. And it's very clear he's on blue-black. Rebuff is great against blue-black. We have a nice curve. The game plan, again, against blue-black is to just run them out of cards. Getting to use our bombardment on a Grimflayer there was real nice. Yeah, opening with rebuff in your hand against green-black is just great. Yeah, we get to catch his Liliana here. And we're just curving out. Well, we're not using our mana very efficiently because our threats, or our answers, are lining up really well against his threats. But we get to Glimmer here, and he's not really pressuring us. Liliana is a little irritating, but Fumarole can pressure Liliana if we can keep the rest of the board clear. He does for sure have Grasp still in his deck at this point. Okay, so he can theoretically turn on Delirium in response to our Harness Lightning here, but even if he does, we have enough energy to be able to kill it, so he does not activate the Vessel. I think he should have. Like, us using the energy is relevant. And he would pretty much for sure have Delirium, because, yeah, all he needed to do was pop the Evolving Wilds and then Vessel, and he ends up doing that anyway, so we got 2 free energy off of him, which is great. Yeah, don't need any more lands. Took Bombardment, even though it's pretty low impact. Not running Fumarole here into Grasp Mana. Well, I guess holding up Grasp Mana is the reason why he didn't Vessel in response. But even if I could have attacked Liliana here, I'm not sure if I would have, because like, we theoretically could draw into a counter with this hand, and letting Ishkanah resolve in this matchup is not where you want to be, as we saw in our first match. So we drew into an answer for Grimflayer, which is sweet. Yeah, so he does have an Emrakul in his yard at this point. Took a Hissing Quagmire off of the Vessel, by the way. So he does have an Emrakul in his yard and access to it with Liliana, but we get to clear his board here and then pressure the Liliana. Yeah. A little Mana flooded, and Emrakul is resolving here, so we concede. Yeah, that game started out real well, and we just drew a bunch of lands there at the end. No clean answers to Emrakul in game 1. Although if we did have Void Shatter here, I would have been, well, we wouldn't have been able, we might have lost to Liliana Emblem here, even if we had Void Shatter. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we could have done differently this game. But, yeah, sometimes we lose to Emrakul. Without Emrakul, though, this game, like, sometimes they just don't draw Emrakul in game 1. And the matchup is really easy. So, I'm happy with the green-black matchup from here. So we'll go on to game 2. Here's how I sideboarded. So after my loss in round 1 to the Grimflare Tracker Grimflare draw, I kept in 2 bombardments. Instead, I'm playing 1 less negate and then 1 less. What else did I? Yeah. So I cut an extra negate in the catalog. So let's see. 2 bombardments came out, 2 catalogs came out for summary dismissal, negate. And revolutionary rebuff. So 4 cards came in, 4 cards came out. Catalog, bombardment. So that's how I sideboarded. We're on the play. Oh. Alright, so this is, as I said, rebuff is one of our best cards early against them. An argument could be made to play Take Inventory there, but like getting run over by Grimflare is not what I wanted to be doing. So held up the rebuff. Yeah, his grapple is fine. He was grappling for lands. Yeah, he took Blooming Marsh. Yep. Catching a Liliana here is nice. Cycle our Take Inventory. So the first Take Inventory is never exciting. But the second and third ones are always very nice. So he gets to resolve something here, but we get to Glimmer. Luckily we still have Bombardment in our deck, and then Glimmer into 1, so we keep Anticipate here just because we're not under pressure and we have a tower in our hand. So yeah, they bring in more trackers and they keep in Grimflare, so that's why we want some number of bombardments in the deck. And this interaction was perfectly showcased. We get to Hulk here. We can either counter something if he goes for an Ishkanah or something like that, or we can flashback Glimmer and dig for more counter spells. Okay, so I think, yeah, I go for the rebuff here. I don't know if I like that play in hindsight, because if I Glimmer, I guess there's only 4 Harness Lightnings in the deck, so, well, and there's one of them. Yeah. So now he gets a window to resolve something, but we have shields up with Harness Lightning. So he is notably getting close to Emrakul here. Gets to shrink our guy. We get to charge up the tower. See, Take Inventory here. Very good in this matchup. Just slowly get to grind them out. Alright, I think I cast Take Inventory. And then the second one. So we have Negate mana up. We can't counter Emrakul, but he cannot activate Liliana here, and we have Negate mana up. So he has, this was like his one window to resolve something big. Anticipate helps us to keep digging. Shrinks our guy. It's the end of his turn. We get to anticipate. Ooh. So take inventory, number 4, or Torrential Gear Hulk. Pretty sure we take inventory. Yeah. And then now that we know we are going to have a ton of gas, I think we just throw... No, we don't throw Harness Lightning at anything. I guess holding up Negate in case he has Murder. So drawing that Void Shatter pretty much seals up this game. Yeah, if the take inventory did not already. So Gear Hulk gets to kill Liliana. He's throwing Quagmire in front. We get to Harness Lightning it down. Now we don't even have to discard a card. And we have Summary Dismissal up. So yeah, this game is pretty locked up at this point. And he concedes. Yeah, take inventory when you draw all 4. It's a very different game of Magic. Oh, there we go. Game 3. So we're on the draw this game. I don't think we changed our sideboard. Oh, we brought in a 3rd bombardment for a tower. So tower is less good on the draw. Bombardment, having the 3rd bombardment helps us keep tempo against trackers and Grim Flayers. I learned my lesson in round 1. So on the play, we trimmed the tower for the bombardment, or on the draw rather. This hand is great. It doesn't have a counter spell, but we're definitely not going to mulligan it. Counter spells are very important in this matchup, but it isn't until about turn 5 that you absolutely need one against them. Whereas Harness Lightning, you will need starting as soon as turn 2, as he has played a Grim Player. So we kill it right away, because Vessel might be able to turn on. Delirium, don't want to let him untap. So he got a Swamp. So we get to represent counter mana, and then probably anticipate trying to find our 4th land. We are getting to the point, though, where it would be nice to have a counter spell. Yeah, we could Harness Lightning here, but really need to hit that 4th land, so we hit 3 lands. So we're at the point. Yeah, I want to get that first take inventory in the yard while we can. Get that engine rolling. And we can kill Grim Flare with Delirium on. But did not do it on our turn because we wanted to do it in response. And he gets super unlucky, does not hit it, so we get to save our energy. Yeah, he took the Swamp. So Dark Dweller gets to start turning the corner here. We are on board. He's nowhere close to Emrakul. And like the worst thing he can resolve here is an Ishkanah, but he doesn't even have Delirium. So he just kills Dark Dwellers instead, which is fine. We got our 2-for-1. And we're just saying go. If he casts something we really need a counter, we can anticipate and hope to draw a counter spell. Otherwise, we're going to Glimmer here, set up Gear Hulk really nicely. He just has Stone Nothing. He's probably flooded. Or he has an Emrakul in his hand. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Yeah, he's pretty far off from Emrakul. He's 2 away. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, even if this land came in untapped, he's 2 away from Emrakul. So we get to Glimmer here. Yeah, I don't think we keep either of these. Yeah. Just, we want to dig for counter spells. At this point, like, as soon as we find Summary Dismissal, this match is over. So, yeah, Pilgrim's Eye keeps picking away at us. If we put it in the yard, then gets him a turn closer to Emrakul. So he stopped playing lands. We have breathing room for days, so we get to just throw this Gear Hulk down, keep digging, trying to find Summary Dismissal or Void Shatter. Didn't find either of them, but we did find Take Inventory number 3, so it's kind of funny. We have all these Take Inventories, so there's Void Shatter. We can sit pretty now. We don't really need to be digging too much more. Him activating Hissing Quagmire here is weird, because like, him having 2 cards in his hand and doing nothing, not even playing lands, makes me think he has Emrakul, so he wouldn't want to trade his land for my guy. But just let the trade happen. Like, I could throw Harness Lightning at it, but like, him killing his lands, I'm completely fine with, and this just gives me even more time to go and find Summary Dismissal. So I think he got back Flare there. I guess, yeah. So we get to kill his guy, and then anticipate. Pick up Gear Hulk number 3. Now we just have gas for days. There's our Summary Dismissal, so there's no route to victory here for him. We just get to play the reactive game and ride it out. Yeah. Just let the demon resolve, play Gear Hulk, and kill the demon. Yeah. We have pretty much everything we could want, thanks to Take Inventory here. And just need to make sure that we keep Summary Dismissal up. Yeah, so him natural stating there means that he for sure has Emrakul in his hand. There's no reason for him to do that besides to get an artifact in his graveyard for Emrakul. Which is why that Hissing Quagmire play so many turns ago it just blew my mind. But anyway, he drew his land to be able... Oh, no, he didn't need a land. But then he just scoops... No, he doesn't scoop to the Summary Dismissal. We just get to chunk him. So he's got no cards in his hand. We get to Gear Hulk, and that prompts the concession. Yeah, so this, like, he got a little unlucky in this game 3, but, like, this deck doesn't really pressure us that much. If we can keep their Grim Flayers under control, then the rest of their threats are clunky enough that just sideboarding into super heavy counters ends up being really good against them. Like, they can get to Emrakul, but we have enough card draw on the deck to be able to try and find Summary Dismissal in time. And yeah, it didn't come up in this match, but like, Summary Dismissal, casting it to counter Transgress comes up often because you want it to be in your graveyard for future Gear Hulks. And then you have so much card draw and redundancy that in games 2 and 3, Emrakul is not that big of a problem. Game 1, she's a problem, but not so much later. So this puts us up to 2 and 2, and we got redemption against our first loss by keeping in Galvanic Bombardment. Alright, we'll be back for round 5.